All right, shalom, shalom. I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Harakakodash, and double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and shalom to all the hopeful, elect, and sincere brothers that's doing the work of the Lord in sincerity and in truth. Now, I'm going to go into the attack that I just made on Venezuela. Lord will is edifying. This is very exciting, by the way. It's very, very exciting because it's prophecy coming to pass. And the U.S. just got themselves in like deep trouble with everybody, with Russia, with China, with Iran, you know, and the world is condemning it, you know, because everyone knows that it's not because of some, you know, drug policing, you know, that they're going over there to stop drug warlords and drug trafficking, you know, from getting, they're stopping drugs from getting to the U.S. and fentanyl, you know, to get to the U.S. and all that. It's really for their oil and for their mineral resources. Venezuela has the most, you know, oil. It's more than Saudi Arabia. It's more than a lot of these countries that has a lot of oil, period. And the U.S. wants it. And Lord will is the edifying lesson. And the effects of this is going to be bad. The effects of it is going to be bad. But it's just prophecy coming to pass. And I'm going to play this video and get a couple articles and get scriptures and end the lesson.
We're going to run the country until such time as we can do a safe, proper, and judicious transition. So we don't want to be involved with having somebody else get in, and we have the same situation that we had for the last long period of years. We want peace.
So he said that they're going to run the country, you know, so they don't want anyone else to get involved, which is pride, by the way. Let me get a scripture. That's Isaiah. There's another one. But let me just get this. This is the one that comes to mind. I want to get another scripture, maybe in the Apocrypha, but this is good. Obadiah chapter 1 verse 3. The pride of thine heart have deceived thee, thou that dwellest in the clefts of the rocks. The clefts of the rocks are the caves, because Esau, their homeland, was a Caucasus Mountains, and before that, the land of Edom, you know, Petra, which is just which were just caves, which they got that, you know, from Hamites anyways. You know, they took that area from the Amorites anyways, which are Hamites, but that's where they dwelt. And then after that, they went to the Caucasus. So who today is known as the Caucasians, which means cave dweller, the so-called white man, which is Esau. They're Edomites, biblically, and they run the world today, starting with their elite banking families. Let me read it again. Obadiah chapter 1 and verse 3. The pride of thine heart have deceived thee. So they're super proud right now. You heard this, what this guy just said? What DJT just said?
We're going to run the country until such time as
they're gonna run the country after they bomb the country. Like they did a sneak attack around like 2 a.m. in the morning. and then they kidnapped the president and his wife, right? And they're going to take over the country. They want the oil, they want the resources, and it's because Venezuela nationalized their own resources from by help from Iran. Because the last time Trump, the president of the U.S. was involved with Venezuela, a massive famine happened. That was the last time he was in office. He came in office around 2016 or 17 the last time, and now he's back in office the second time, and now he attacks him again, which is for the oil. Venezuela nationalized their oil, so they're mad. Nationalized meaning they take control of their resources. It belongs to us. So the U.S. companies that was there, they have to transfer ownership over to the people, and they're upset because Venezuela has massive amounts of oil. Let me try to get it for you. Venezuela oil amount compared to other oil countries. Venezuela holds the world's largest proven oil reserves, estimated at over 300 billion barrels, significantly more than other major oil countries. So Venezuela is high in oil. And the Venezuelans, they're from the tribe of Asher. And this actually proves it, because it's in Deuteronomy 33. Their blessing is going to be that their habitation, where they're going to dwell in, where they're going to live, the place, the land that they're going to live in is going to be rich with oil. Estimated at around 300 barrels. So Venezuelans are Israelites from the tribe of Asher. Estimated at over 300 barrels, significantly more than other major oil countries like Saudi Arabia, Iran, and Canada. Damn. Accounting for roughly 17 to 20% of global reserves, primarily heavy crude in the Orinoco Belt. Despite this vast resource, production and export have been hampered by underinvestment, mismanagement, and Esau's involved in that, and sanctions, leaving its output a fraction of its potential compared to its reserve size. So they can't export the oil like they want to because of sanctions and underinvestment, mismanagement, which all of that is from the devil. It's from Esau. Blocking their way of exporting, the oil and making money to build up their country. So this guy is proud. Obadiah chapter 1 verse 3, the pride of thine heart hath deceived thee, thou that dwellest in the clefts of the rock, whose habitation is high. These high 100-story, 200-story buildings, when you go into their cities, for example, NYC, Manhattan, skyscrapers, that's what it's talking about. Their habitation is high. These penthouses that's on like the 150th floor of these high-rise buildings that cost hundreds of thousands to millions of dollars, whose habitation is high, that saith in his heart, meaning in his mind, who shall bring me down to the ground? Who's going to take me out of power, really? And the pride is oozing out of DJT, the president right here.
We're going to run the country until such time as we can do a safe, proper, and judicious transition. So we don't want to be involved
So in the meantime, they're gonna run the country. They already have their leader set up in mind of who they want to bring in there, so that they could use them as a puppet. They could use that leader for their benefit, because the leader that they put in is for their own interests, meaning the country belongs to us, the resources is ours, because the leader there we put in there, so it's all good.
with having somebody else get in, and we have the same situation that we had for the last long period of years. We want peace, liberty, and justice for the great people of Venezuela.
Peace, liberty, and justice. All right, I'm glad they said that. Come on now. This is from Middle East Eye. It's a YouTube news channel, and I took this screenshot of the post that they had. It says, U.S. attack on Venezuela. Trump's peace means war in 2026. Opinion by Joe Gill. And why? Because of the Nobel Peace Prize that he just received. DJT. This is from the dailybeast.com. It says, Noble thirsty Trump starts war 48 hours, meaning 2 days, after declaring his resolution for 2026 was peace on earth, right? So 2 days after he got the Nobel Peace Prize, and he said that his resolution was peace on earth, which is a lie, because he's a liar. Esau is a liar. He started war. Donald Trump launched an unprovoked major military attack just 48 hours after declaring that his New Year's resolution was peace on earth. And I'm going to get a scripture for that. Trump, 79, ordered military strikes on targets in the Venezuelan capital of Caracas in the early hours of Saturday, which is a few hours ago today. In a sensational Truth Social post, he then claimed to have captured the Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro. And Maduro in Spanish means ripe. Like when you get the a Maduro plátano, ripe plantains, this sweet ripe fried plantains at the store. Maduro means ripe. Ripe or mature. The 2 a.m. sneak attack began just shy of 24 hours after the president appeared to threaten a separate military attack on Iran in a 3 a.m. Truth Social. Flames rise at Fuerte, I can't say it. Fuerte Tijuana, Venezuela's largest military complex. A series of explosions in Caracas in January 3rd, 2026. Large-scale strike on country in Truth Social. Okay, so military strikes on Venezuelan boats over the last few months were motivated by the so-called war on drugs. That's their cover-up. That's their guise. We're gonna go in. We're gonna help them because the drugs is pouring in from Venezuela into the U.S., which that's a lie. He threatened to expand that campaign onto the mainland last month. And admitted that U.S. access to Venezuela's natural resources is also a consideration. So that's the main point. They took control of the resources by nationalizing it, and he's mad. They're mad.